going on, guys? It's Nick from Lively Outdoors. Just got back from a little quick from Walmart, and on the way back I was thinking, you know, I ought to do a video on what I carry every single day in my pockets, on my belt, everything. I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while, but it's like I just haven't found the time. Every time I go to do one, I'm doing a review on a gun or something, and it just doesn't really work out. So I'm on call this week, and so I can't really do a whole lot anyway. I may end up going fishing this weekend or something, just to do a little short trip if I don't get called out before I go. But anyway, I just figured I'd do this because pretty much got to be at the house waiting anyway. So it's going to be a little pocket dump, I guess you could say, which I never have understood because most of the crap's on your belt, you know, the pockets and, you know, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, we'll start out with my watch. It's just a Apple Watch. I can't remember what version it is. I don't know, I got it about 6 months, maybe a year ago. About a year ago, I guess. It's the newest Apple Watch. Tells you your pulse, tells you your pulse ox. It gives you like a EKG reading, fitness levels, time, which is the main thing because you always want to know what time it is. Temperature, blah, 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 all that stuff. I absolutely love this thing. It's great. I've got a Catalyst band on it, and the band has really held up excellent. Next, let's see. We'll start off with the small stuff, I guess you could say. I'm hypoglycemic, so I always have to have my glucometer on me to check my blood sugar. Got all my needles, like my pokey things to draw my blood and everything like that, and the little crap in there. Y'all probably don't care about that. Next is iPhone. iPhone to me is very important. You can call for emergencies. You've got GPS on here. You know, I've got my Find My app on here, and my wife and I are synced up to that, so I can find out, you know, if she's in an emergency, where exactly she's at. If I'm out hiking up a creek, she can see exactly where I'm at on there. It's just really handy. And I mean, sometimes you just need a light. So there you go, you got a light. You got video on here, you know, you got memos. So I mean, there's a lot of things that you could use an iPhone for, you know, for pretty much any scenario. I mean, just having fun, if you're in trouble, if you're trying to call for somebody else, you know, I mean, it's just, to me, it's a pretty important piece of equipment, as weird as it sounds, but like it or not, I mean, an iPhone could save your life. Next, let's see. Always got to have a lighter. To me, you always have to have a lighter. Mainly, I mean, you might need to burn something off, you know, like it's just, you know, little crap. Burn a little thread off. You may need to start a fire if you're, you know, out in the middle of nowhere and you're stranded. A lot of things lighter can come in handy for. Definitely. Let's got my car keys. Car keys, fob. Wife got me this little keychain. Not much there. Sure y'all know most about all that, office keys, everything like that. My wallet's a Ridge wallet. This has been the handiest wallet I've owned. My wife bought me a leather wallet that was a front pocket wallet after my back surgery, and because I couldn't carry one on my right butt cheek anymore, because that was kind of right above that's where I had my back surgery. Whenever I sat down on it really made that nerve go crazy, and it finally wore out. And so I started looking up wallets, and I found this Ridge wallet, and I've had this thing for 3 years, and if it ever breaks, which is a lifetime warranty, but if it ever breaks, I'm buying another one, or just trying to get another one for free. You know, I mean, you can see the clip's kind of patinaed. I mean, that's the only really wear. I got the green, and you can see there's like zero green rubbed off on it. This thing is totally amazing. I mean, you can keep your cash here, your cards here. I mean, it's just excellent, and it takes up very, very little room, and it's a little bit heavy, so it always goes down to the bottom of your pocket, you know, right where it's at. It doesn't feel like it's going to work its way out because it's light, but it's, I mean, it doesn't weigh much, but I've got quite a few cards in here. You know, I've got certain, you know, identifying cards in here, and then I've got, you know, my bank card and a couple different credit cards, and I've taken them out before and just ran with like 3 different identification cards, and the bands on it still sync up just as tight as they were with all the cards in it. So the thing is very, very nice. To me, this is awesome. I mean, it really is. I didn't know how long the screws were going to last, or if they were going to, you know, start rusting or anything like that. And I mean, I've had this in water. You know, I've been up to here in water in the summer in my shorts fishing out on, you know, Cottonmouth Creek, and there's 0 rust on this thing whatsoever. And it's got an RFID in it, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's see what else I got. Change. Just don't care about that. I always have a flashlight on me. This one right here is a stream light. Not sure of the model. I don't even know if I can see it. It's a ProTac 1L 1AA. I guess it's just a ProTac. But anyway, it takes CR123s or a AA battery. It's a 500 lumen light. It's got the straight light. If you have strobe problems, don't watch this part. It's got a straight light, you got strobe, and then you've got like a dim. So that I use a ton. I use this a whole lot. You know, it's there if I need it. Small pocket flashlights like this are totally amazing. Whenever I was growing up, my dad had a Maglite that was like 12 or 15 inches long. Took 4 or 5 D-cell batteries, and you know, it was like maybe 1/8 of as bright as this light, and then now you got this 500 lumens. It's pretty daggone impressive to me. You always gotta have a light on it, in my opinion. This is a necessity, and I probably use the most. It's an Essie Izula. This is my go-to knife. I like folding knives, but to me, a fixed blade is a lot handier, just from what I use them for day to day. And I have used the living crap out of this knife. If you don't have an Essie Izula and you're looking for a knife, pick one up. Either the Izula or the Izula 2. The Izula 2 is a new one. It's like a 1/4 inch longer handle, but it's the same blade length and everything. They just extended the handle out a little bit. For daily carry, I prefer this. I've got both. I've got the Izula and the Izula 2. The Izula 2 I'm putting on my pack for fishing. The Izula I carry like this. Dog's in the floor wondering what I'm doing. I carry it like this. I actually took the clip that comes with it. It's made to be to where it's vertical, and I just used 3 screws and blue Loctited them in to where I can have a horizontal ride, and it kind of cants down like that. So if I need it, I mean, it's right there. I've got it. Do whatever I need to do with it. Getting it back in, you just got that. But it's got an excellent retention. I mean, that dude is not coming out the way you draw it. You just, you know, you can raise your shirt, or you don't even have to raise your shirt, but you just get right here and you push with your thumb, draws out, get it back in, kind of hold in, and it clips back in. That to me, I probably use, as far as tool wise, the most. It's the absolute perfect size for me, for what I use it for. You ought to look into one if you're, you know, if you're looking for a knife. Firearm that I carry the most, which some may be shocked, but is the Glock 19. You know, this one's a Gen 5. I carried a Gen 2 for a very long time. I carry this more than I carry anything. I love all the new micro guns that come out. I like the new SIG Macro Tac Ops. I love it. The 365 XL, I really like that. I did a little 4-minute video the other night on a gun that I picked up that I hope none of y'all saw. I hope I got it. Well, it said there was 60 views, but I'm hoping I got it taken down before too many people saw it. If you're watching this, do not try one of the Ruger Ready Dots, especially on the Max 9. I bought a Max 9 with a Ruger Ready Dot, brand new, for $450. I was so pumped about it. And my wife was closing, so I did like I normally do whenever I get one. I check, make sure it's all clear. And I clear the whole house. I'll go room to room, check it. Okay, the way I keep the lighting in my house at night when we're in our bedroom or when we're asleep is lit in a way to where I can see somebody else better than they can see me. I'll just put it that way. And whenever I would throw it up and I would have that red dot up, there would be no red dot. It's actually a fiber optic red dot, which makes zero sense because the main reason I would want a red dot would be for low light situations. So the less light you have, the less dot you have. And if you're in a darker, pretty much dark room, if you're looking in a bright room, even with a regular red dot, it's not going to pick up as good. Your dot's not going to pick up as good. Well, this one picked up not at all. So I hope not too many people saw that. If you did, I hope you didn't order one on mine just because I said it was going to be awesome, because I thought it was until I started running around. Like I said in the video though, before I took it down, it may be total junk, but I'm going to try to run it. Don't get one of those. Anyway, back to this. I'm actually fixing to put my Wilson trigger back in this one. I carry a Glock 19 because in the summer here, it's very humid and it's hot, and you sweat no matter what. You're going to be sweating every day in the summer. I do a lot of stuff around water. I don't have to worry about this rusting. If it gets wet, I don't have to worry about it malfunctioning. If it's dry, I don't have to worry about it malfunctioning. I've had it in muddy water. I've had it in clean water. I've had it in rain. I've had it in sweat. And they just operate. That's all there is to it. This one I've just got standard sights on. I may end up putting some a high-vis front with a blacked out rear on it before too much longer. My one that I built up a little while back, I liked it, but I don't know. I found this one. This one's got a gray frame. That's the main reason I went with it. I'll be 100% honest with it. It also came with gray mags, so I thought that was pretty dang cool. So I picked this one up. But this is what I carry the majority of the time. Now, there are times that I carry other guns. Don't get me wrong, and guns that I've done videos on. But all the guns that I've done in the past year or two on reviews for carrying, something in one way or another has drawn me back to this gun. I mean, whether it's a rust issue, whether it's a malfunction issue, whether you just don't know about the gun enough, you haven't shot enough. Let me tell you right now, I know 100% if I needed to use this right now and I had the mag in it, it would function 100%. I guarantee you 100%. I don't have to think twice, wonder if it's going to run. Some guns I've ran out at the range run 100%. They run flawless. I'll have a mag in them. It'll be completely loaded. I'll have one in the chamber. I'll carry it for 4 or 5 days, and I'll go out to the range just to dump the mag whenever I'm out fishing or something, and I'll have a second round malfunction. I don't know if it's the way the smaller mags are built these days. On the Canic, on that the new Canic, the MC9, love that gun. But the two mags that I bought that didn't come with it, they were drop free. They dropped free every single time. You could just drop straight out. The mags that came with it, they wouldn't. They'd sit there and hang up. And I watched a video and they said, well, it's because the mag release. It wasn't the mag release. You could get it to right here, about 2 inches past the mag release, and it'd be stuck in there. What creeped me out is the mags that did not come with it, that I bought for it, would drop free until you loaded them. When you loaded them, they'd get stuck every time. So that right there tells you that, yeah, they're making smaller mags and they're being able to make smaller guns with them, but that metal's actually expanding inside there. To me, I don't really like that. I don't like that idea. I mean, this mag drops just as free loaded as it does unloaded. There's no width difference, and I've actually measured it, and zero. The holster I normally carry it in is this Vetter. It's a Vetter light tuck, and I got the claw. I love Vetter holsters. This is one that I bought about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I've got over 20 something Vetter holsters. The screws are wore out. I mean, they're not wore out, but there's no black on them anymore. But I actually replaced the screws on this one time with one of the old HK mags that I had, and screwed those 2 screws in there, and now the blacks wore off of them too. But they're newer holsters that I've used, or that I've ordered like the last 3 times. Right through here, like if you get an optic cut, it'll cut off right here, but then instead of your sweat guard being straight across where it needs to be, but dipping down and being straight across because you got your optic, it goes down like that, and you can tell they just messed it up. You can even tell on the front where it was messed up. Now this one's flawless. I absolutely like this. This is one of my favorite holsters. Depending on how I'm dressed, depending on what I'm doing, depending on where I'm going, I will wear either this, or I'll wear my Wilson Combat Low Pro leather holster on the outside for the Glock 19. If I'm in my side-by-side, I always wear a Galco Miami Classic. It's a Miami Classic 2, I believe, and it just slides in there. And if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you definitely want to take a gun. So I slide it in there, and of course, we get muddy, we get wet, and when we're out riding in the X3, and then I've got a mag pouch on this side for 2 mags, and so I always keep at least 1 in that side, plus it kind of counterbalances the weight, and that way if you're in it and you need it, you can always draw out. You're not sitting there with it against your back while you're hitting rocks and all that kind of stuff. But as far as what I carry, that's basically what I carry every day. Hopefully this will help somebody out. I know there's a lot of videos out there on the Glock 19, and they're boring, and everybody likes videos on new stuff and everything else, and trust me, I like making videos on new stuff. I get excited when new stuff comes out. I mean, I really get pumped. But in all honesty, I mean, this thing's hard to beat. I mean, loaded with 15 rounds, yeah, it's a hair thicker, and it's definitely longer, but it's a hair longer in height, or taller in height than the Canik MC9, which is a pretty small pistol. But with 15 rounds, the mag loaded, I weighed both of them, and this is 1.2 ounces heavier than the Canik with 15 rounds, which is the way I've been carrying it, is with 15 rounds. So there will be times that I carry other guns, but I just want to show you. I mean, this video would take forever if I showed you, stuff like that. But anyway, majority of the time, this is what I carry as a Glock 19. Like I say, I got factory sights on here. I'll probably end up putting a high-vis front and a blacked out rear, and I am putting my Wilson flat trigger in there because I absolutely love the Wilson triggers, because they're factory OEM trigger bars, so you don't have to worry about it messing with reliability or safety, but you get their CNC machined colored trigger shoe, and it's wider than the regular Glock factory one, and it just, to me, I get the flat one. You can get a curved one too, But to me, when you put your finger on that pad, it's just absolutely perfect, because I have a tendency to hit my bend right here. No matter what gun, no matter what handgun I'm shooting, I always hit the bend, and you're supposed to hit your pad. To me, whenever I use this Wilson, I hit from here to here, and it works. That's what I use. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe somebody got something out of it. If I could refer 100% a gun, it would be Glock 19. I know that's boring, and it's boring because, well, they're reliable. There's nothing to bitch about them about. Have I had malfunctions with some? Yes. And the ones that I have had malfunctions with have had either aftermarket barrel, an aftermarket slide, aftermarket recoil spring, aftermarket trigger. That's why I stick with the factory trigger bar with a Wilson shoot. Everything else is factory except for the sights. I'll put sights on it, but I may leave these on there. I don't know. I've never had any problem with Glock sights. A lot of people say they have, and I mean, I've shot hundreds of thousands of rounds to Glocks in the last 22 years, and nothing. I mean, I've never had one. I've heard, oh yeah, they'll fall off, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I've gone out there and I've shot 2,000 rounds out of a 17 one day whenever the Gen 4s first came out. And one of my buddies went out there and we just had my one Gen 4 17. And we went out there with 2,000 rounds. We shot it. It took, I don't know, two and a half hours, because we were kind of taking our time. But we were out there for probably about 2.5 hours, I guess. And I mean, you would have thought, as hot as it was, and as hot as it was that day, if something was going to happen, I mean, it would have happened then. But I mean, I've got a 30-year-old Glock 19 that still got factory sights on it. They're yellow, but they're still on there. They've held up for 30 years. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I've never had it happen. And I've owned every model of Glock, which is weird. Y'all don't repeat that. I'll see y'all next time. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope I didn't take too long to talk too much, but I've been wanting to do one of these. So I'll see you next time. Probably do a little fishing this weekend. Y'all have a good week, and have a great weekend if I don't see you before then.